Ndocokereria origin kenlive.co.ke haria tukorwo tukumenyithia maundu matiganite haria tukorwo tukiaria na andu magereire maundu maritu na angi magereire maundu mahuthu to hindi ciothe tukaroraga mauru ma maundu twina Evangeline Mukami anego tugotaire ni mwandiki wa mafuku tuhecia mafuku
Really, my life has been a journey, and I have gone through different things in my life. Maudo, you know, as a normal, some abnormal, some normal. But one of the things personally, I know if you follow me on Facebook, you'll see many times I say I am God's most favorite. Because even when I was, you know, would go without eating, for me, Christmas times are horrifying. It's last year, my kids pushed me to buy a Christmas tree. I don't celebrate Christmas because they reminded me of how poor we were.
Oh, back then.
The entire community, kuna chapati wamechinja, as we don't even have anything to eat. You know, one Christmas, I remember we didn't have at all anything. Then my cousin came with githeri, imechemshwa, ametumwa na shosho yangu. We were happy. My mother cried. Sisi, unajua as watoto, food is food.
Food is,
it's
you
not
need
So I even at that point where we were at the verge of not even eating or, you know, not even affording anything. One time even my auntie asked me, Reure, mudhoni ona kirato kiarafa, as in my mother, kiatu ya raba ezi afford kubaia, you know. And that time nimetrek kwenda kwa my grandmother to borrow something to eat. And this is what my auntie asked me. Not if, for me, shoes is not a priority then. But at the back of my mind, I knew this life, there will be a new dawn, you know. I held on. Nilikuwa naona tu kutakuja siku moja where things will change. And I never heard about stories. I never read about books that people had gone through and they came out. But there was something in me that told me, wewe soma. Do the best that you can. Something will come. And something will come. And that's why for me, education was this was the thing. This was the key to, my motto in primary school was, education is the key to success. And for sure it is. So, 2020, I always journal. I write my daily activities every day for the past 20 years. I write things, my thoughts, and I go back and at times I question, so this is what birthed the book. So I had manuals, I had 4 notebooks that I had written my story. So I would take a caption from last year in January and put it on Facebook. And people would tell me, as you write your book, we are waiting. Hey, you've gone through that. Then in I forgot to tell you, when I was around 11 years, Embu community takes girls through FGM, Female Genital Mutilation. It's also a form of gender-based violence, where women ought to, you see, Reure, my dad origora aradie miaketatu, akore my mom haria, you know, without kutangatanga, you know, how, and it's a culture that has been there for years, because even our grandfather, they used to go to Nairobi for a year or even 3 years nakuja. So it was a way of making women subjective and, you know, to wasitangatange. So when I was around 11 years, I was forced to go through FGM. I stopped judging my mother in the community, but at some point I was very bitter. This also, now, at that point, I didn't know how bad it was. Until when I got to around Form 3, I started developing a growth around my private part. But I didn't even connect it with the female genital mutilation. So I go to campus, I can't date. because I have this growth that is growing. Imefika sasa a place where inakata kama machungwa. So then there was a camp where I went, nikakuwa examined, and you can imagine what took me the courage to go even to see a doctor.
Yes.
And they did for me a surgery when I was in campus second year. And from then, I've had more than 6 surgeries. Following that cyst. Now, that time, I didn't know it was a cyst. I just knew it was abnormal. It's a growth that I do not understand. And I spent a lot of my millions and a lot of all my salary, all my money used to go to hospital. I'm planning, because exactly after 6 months of surgery, it would recur. Yeah, so in 2021, I met the anti-FGM board. I am in the space where I worked before. I was a business development manager. I was in the space of workplace wellness. So we went to their company to do workplace wellness. But you remember there is this thing that inakanga ikinisumbua. Enakaodo, as in, what did I go through? Who else has ever gone through this? No one talks about this thing. After the activity, I told her I want to see her. One of the things that God has given me, I have courage. Me, hata nilikuwa nasema another day, if I would meet anyone, I wouldn't fear talking to them. You know, I would approach them. Nikamwambia, I want to see you. She was very easy. Tukidhiwa fishi gwake. Nikamwambia, mi nataka kujua mnafanyanga nini hapa. So she started to explain to me what they do. Then she told me, you know, I am a survivor of FGM. Guy died with it like I was born. I have never had
somebody else.
No one. Even in our own family, no one talks about. In the community, no one talks about it.
When this is happening, Geigua, Nejigua, I read to again, take a through. Ni French yao mundu tathiete muritu tathigereire gacira kaure ka FGM ria koneka tatare muritu mukinyaniru. Were you going through that thing, and was it voluntary? That is, did you discuss with anyone toka gutwara rucio?
What did a discussion? My mama oimire agiokana the so-called nurse, my shosho and my auntie, you know, some women there, and we were all take no preparation, no.
We
were with my siblings.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the girls now. All of them now. No jera no ginyamogere. Yani they insisted you have to do this.
Ata hakuna ku insist, because you know, you just realize when they start to cut that it's something full.
Oh.
You know, no do magopinete down. Umeshikiliwa na wanawake kama wanne ama watano. So they've pinned you down. This is the time you're realizing what the hell is
this. As a young girl, no happen in your community. No,
because my mother, even now, it's very hard for me to go to someone's house. As we never interacted outside.
Go shokagia how to get now no agimara no faga, and you're going through these surgeries to understand kana no naga it is something you did willingly no erago cost this, so it was something that was forced in you that is costing you even when you're okay.
What happens because I will talk about also what I do for survivors of FGM and prevention of FGM in the community level. Last year, this lady brought me, when I did my first video about what I went through.
Yes.
This lady reached out to me and told me, I want you to talk to my daughter. She's saying she must go through FGM. And we met. We had a discussion. She says, you know, because it's a community thing. If you've not gone through, there are things, you know, like in Embu they say kerego, and that word is bad. Yani unasikia ni kama you just want to go for circumcision the next day. So this girl, having been brought up in Nairobi, in the village, now she's been exposed. I told her, you're in class 8, please wait. If you go to Form 1 and you still want to go for FGM, I will allow you.
Yes.
Because once it's done, reverse it. It's done. na tukaiguana, and I kept on calling. Nikamwambia hata wakikuita nini, uko na miezi 3 ufanye exam. Do you know when she went to Form 1, and she went to Form 1 in Kiambu, she found a new environment where none of the it's not
evil.
It's actually the 2 girls she met that had gone through FGM, also unfortunately from Embu, walikuwa anamwambia wewe ushukuru sana huyo mama ulikutana na yeye, because as we regret every day. So there is that community pressure where even teachers, and that's why for at the moment you'll see the anti-FGM board and other organizations are going to the community level to educate the teachers, because teachers also save girls. Yeah, kama kwetu saizi what's happening, kwa sababu sasa FGM is a criminal offense. It's parents or the guardians can be persecuted or can be taken to a court of law.
Yeah, sure.
So okaigwa muiretu ni atwarwo kwa the auntie. So you know, far in a far village agiokare
kastori na kare.
Yes. So that is what they are doing. Some girls at times they push their parents and they want, but rarely utapata it's a parent thing that we must do this, we must do this. I remember one time my niece alikuwa anaanguka. She's epileptic, and you know the solution was my grandmother ni ali na mwario ati msichana huko hataishi kama hajatai. I told them nonsense. This is epilepsy. This is a disease.
It's a condition.
Attention, but it has nothing to do with FGM. She'll still go for FGM. She'll actually fall more because you're going to on top. What happens? Kuna FGM 1, FGM 2, type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4. Type 1, me I am type 2. Nina border type 3. Type 1 is where they just cut the top part of the clitoris. Type 2, they do the clitoris, the lips, they clear the top part. As they go type 3, type 4, utapata type 4, moire ture ornaments dagegea. Wamemshona ndio ati mwanaume ataenjoy. You know, ameshonwa completely. Na unajua unashonwa na nani? Not a doctor. Unashonwa na those traditional women.
The shows.
Yes.
Wanashona.
You are in pain. Now, someone who's gone through FGM, my friends, because I also run a safe space for survivors of female genital mutilation, you listen to those stories, hata wewe mwenye unaona what you went through ni it's bearable. Because unapata, like one lady told me, she almost died when she was delivering. Yani ilikuwa tu miujiza, and it was because she delivered in a hospital. One, women who've gone through FGM often do not deliver through hospitals.
Okay.
Wana deliver kwa mkunga. In the community, mkunga mwenye anaelewa hizi stories za community. What does that one do? It now exposed to na difficulties in delivery, to manage. So there is a lot of, I do not have the exact statistics, but people have died.
Okay. Sorry for whatever happened to you. Do you feel that you have healed? Do you feel that you've forgiven those people who took you through Odosio?
Yeah, for me, I have healed. One, you remember when I told you when I met my mentor, when she told me that she's gone through FGM, I got a home. I got a place, and now she introduced me to other people, big people in government. You know,
yes.
A CEO is not, and I was saying, kama we amenda through FGM. And you know, so FGM should not be the limiting factor.
Yes.
For me, it's never limited me to do what I need to do. But you know, kuna ile unakanga chini, I am married, you know, I am married, I ought to be sexually active. Ndio mimi huyo, I am off surgery after 6 months, you're preparing for another, you know, it's a bad cycle. But in terms of the trauma is there. And what made me heal is when I started talking about my story.
Yes.
The first time I spoke about my story was in Embu. There was a forum, and the CS was there. I was invited now by the CEO anti-FGM.
Yes.
Dari nililia mpaka, you know, I thought I had started to heal, but healing is a process. That is why I take every opportunity. For me, I'll talk about, I am a survivor in every platform that I am in, where I feel that I need to. I'll write about FGM on Facebook. So, I also went through counseling. For me to be able even to say, because mimi nilikuwa naona hata news, anything to do with the FGM, nazima. And I'm feeling, what are they discussing? Do they, hakuna kitu ingine wanaweza ongea? As in, do they even know what they are talking about? But now I want the conversation to go on, because if this lady didn't tell me she had gone through FGM, currently I have helped over 200 survivors.
Okay.
Why? Because of my story. I have done my story on YouTube. I have done my story on KTN. And that now helps people to reach out to me and ask me even questions. Because utapata survivors also want to think like reconstructive surgery is automatic and will bring them back.
Okay.
Yeah. But you hear a lot of stress. Women have gone through, they've separated with their parents. Mwingine anasema hata ataki mtoto, ataki relationship. Yeah. But for me, I have been able to forgive. One, I confronted my mother. And I asked her, because one of the assignments I was given by my therapist is to have a discussion with my mother. Ndio nimwelewe. And she told me she did it because ata alifanyiwa, and my grandmother, my mother's dad, was insisting.
Ata wiwa ende.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ni ndenda tobeta homuke no tutana homuka abaohe kedu gwitokerea abaohe ifukuto ndaku na bagi haha. Taba turore ifuku riu na nirio tugukorwo tukire discuss twashoka turore maundu maria ukigereire. Oh, good. Na kanyamu gako bookmark Oh, it's a very nice book.
Thank you.
I like the cover already. Scars of a Survivor. I tell it all memoir of a village girl who defied all odds, by Evangeline Mukami. Nirona ifuku nirio riu ya Evangeline Mukami ni tugukorwo tukirira in details tuone hihi no korwo kiria wandikite haha no giguteithitie bado gukorwo kihil tondu ndiciragia hindi ciothe mundu aria kaundu kari agereire kana ukandike no iguaga ta wa solve kaundu kau twabe tuhuka nini tugicokereria tugukorwo tukirira horo wa ifuku riri Scars of a Survivor na kiri kitone mundu gwitwa Evangeline Mukami. Gigatiga kugwita evangelist. Ni Evangeline Mukami. So beto homuka ino ni kenlive.co.ke.
Pata Chuo Web Application is an alumni networking space that allows alumni of public basic educational institutions to connect and mobilize resources to support their respective alma maters.
As Pata Chuo, we are particularly keen on the 23,000 public primary schools in Kenya, which, as you may know, most do not have functional alumni associations. Pata Chuo repository enables institutions in Kenya to onboard the information so that alumni from across the world can see the current state of their institutions and move in to assist in the areas of need. This is equivalent to developing for free a website for each of our 23,000 public schools in Kenya.
Pata Chuo, home of schools and alumni.